Alright, boys, just had to show you that. Say it was the Cybertruck, but it's actually about the Model S today because Elon Musk has said the Model S will be 69,420. So, unreal. He's the coolest CEO, period. And that's all I got to say about that. Ain't no other CEO that cool. And then I commented, is that a joint? Smoke 'em if you got 'em. So, anyway, follow me on Twitter. Doing funny stuff over there too. And then here we go. We got this guy. Rewind it for us. Ooh, hold up. Oh, too soon with the yelling.
It's showtime!
Apple stock. Oh no. It dumped on him. That's what that was about. And so, go back full screen. And then Robinhood Trader cuts losses in half just by disconnecting the second monitor. That's all you got to do, boys. Just unplug the loss, plug in the gains. And then people trading purple. Be careful with the purple mattress company. I did a little bit of due diligence in it. Just a bunch of mattresses for real. And yeah, you only buy one mattress for like 10 years nowadays and you're good. And yeah, people making gains in Amazon still and Lulu. So really not a whole lot going on for real in the gains. And then plenty of losses. So I guess stocks went down today for the main part. So yeah, people losing money in Zoom like usual. Nobody knows what's going on with Zoom. And then people losing money in Amazon. Who knows? They're winning and losing. And then here we go. We got NASA collecting asteroid samples, probably to do some gold mining or something. Ain't no telling. And here we got the Tesla news. And everybody's talking about the 69,420 Model S. Cannot believe there's a CEO this cool. And this is why I do Tesla videos. Because if I did Apple or Amazon, there wouldn't be nothing to laugh about. And so yeah, good luck competing with that. 69,420. Don't smoke them in the car, but don't smoke and drive. And so we got Tesla is up 3% today at 461, and after hours down a little bit. And as we can see on the 1 month chart, it's really just been a steady uptrend for a while now. So we'll move on to Google Trends. We've been watching this every day. And I believe we were at a 33 yesterday, and now we're at a 30. So still downtrending. So Elon got to do something to stir the pot, get some people talking about his company. And so we closed at 59 yesterday, and now we're at a 55. So a little bit less greedy. So that probably means stocks went down. And then we were looking at this too, on the percentage above that 125 day. And I don't look at the 125 day myself, but I do on this just because it has percentages above. And I used to measure the percentages above the moving averages, but found this and I love it. I'm gonna be checking it every day because the S&P, it moves with every stock because it's got the top 500 in it. And but anyway, that's pretty much it. Not really much to look at here. And then, we were saying that this could be a resistance line, just like it was back here and here. So, sure enough. And then we're also, if it is a top, could be putting in a head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulders. And that's not really the proper way to do it, but we got nothing else to do on this channel, so we're going to talk about it. And so jumping into the Tesla stock, we have, on the technicals, we were looking at this as a pattern. And I got it on this chart layout. And so I've drawn it out for you guys. And sorry about my mouse lagging. I'm going to get a new mouse probably whenever Amazon will let me in 2 days. But we were looking at this in a triangle, and it looks like we're breaking out of it. So, and then I also had these support resistance lines in here. And so if we go down to the 30-minute, And I never really looked at the 30-minute except for my support lines and how it's reacting to it. And so if we look at it, it went right up to the support line at 463 and is hanging out right there. So if it rejects right here and it is a top, it'll kind of be a rejection off the top Bollinger Band, and usually it goes back to the mean, which is the 21. This is the 21-day moving average. But it's usually the 20 moving average, but I like the 21 for me. So if we do go down to the bottom side of the range from here, that would be 1.4% at 454. So be watching these levels, see what happens. And if we break back above 464, that is where the move will more than likely take place. And then we'll jump back to our normal indicator template. And so looking at the 30-minute, actually not even going to look at the 30-minute, we're going to go back to the 3-day and work our way in. Looking still bullish on the 3-day. So long term, Tesla is probably in an uptrend, going to stay to the upside. So this pattern should break out to the upside. And we'll get into the S&P later, and I think that's going to have broader implications on this pattern. But looking at the daily MACD, keeping it simple, it is bullish, and RSI with momentum. So everything looking good there. And 12-hour, keeping it even more simple, bullish. So it is looking like the pattern could break to the upside. And then hop into the 6-hour, it is rejecting at that line, and as your momentum's getting into the overbought range. So we will jump to the 4-hour, see if we can dissect it a little bit more. 3-hour is curling down on RSI, so I do think this is more of a riskier area to take along. And if it does reject, that would move this trend line up to here if this is a top. So it'd be something like this, and then it would extend this pattern out, kind of like that. So, and then also the volatility, we were looking at it, and Shopify did resolve its volatility to the downside, and we'll get into that later as well. But this is the trend line I've been watching. So if it does break this, we'll be looking for a move in Tesla. And looking at the 1-hour being overbought, it does have a long way to go before it's oversold. And it would be, sorry about that. It would probably line up with this trend line going down. So if we did see Tesla continue on down, it would potentially bounce the moving averages right here and then maybe break all the way back down. But that wouldn't happen until, maybe Halloween. But that's a little bit long-term speculative stuff. So don't hold me to that one. But just taking a broader look at it, that could happen if this pattern fails. But looking at the 3-day, it does look like we could have a small pullback and then a push to 500 and a break out of the triangle. But time will tell, and then we'll also have to watch this declining volume right here. And then accidentally clicked it, but earnings will be October 21st. So looking at all that, the pattern does end on the 20th. So maybe we go sideways and bounce in. Maybe we go sideways and bounce in this range until earnings, and depending on how that goes, big up or big down. So, and not saying we're going back down to 300, but you never know with stocks. And so yeah, that pretty much covers it in Tesla. So going into tomorrow, I do think we'll have a pullback, but not financial advice. And then we will take a look at the S&P 500. So S&P 500 looking a little bit scary, but we have had a pullback off the 1-hour that we were looking at the other day. So I do think we are in bounce territory. As you can see, we got the 1-hour golden cross. That's that green bar here. And then a pullback into the 55 moving average, which is pretty standard if we go back and look at it. Oh, we go back and look at it right here, golden cross, and then a pullback down to the purple 200 moving average. So if that does happen, we could see it bounce the purple 200 moving average in the S&P. But not super confident on that. I have seen it bounce to 55 and keep going a lot too. But wouldn't be surprised if we went down to the purple 200, and then it would be oversold at that point at 2.4%. We'd be down here. But if it does turn around on the 2 hour, 1 hour, then it could have a continuation pump because of the higher time frames being bullish on like the daily and such. And we will check out the 6 hour. We can get her to load. Okay, so we got the 6 hour, loss of momentum, loss of RSI, MACD turning down. So that's a little bit of confluence right there on the 6 hour. And also the MACD is higher oversold with price action being lower price than it was right here. So I'm not real good at hidden bearish divergence, but I think we have hidden bearish divergence. And I'm going to try to get better at that too for you guys. But there is a discrepancy in the MACD from here to here and from here to here being lower. So if you have this sloping up as price slopes down from this point to this point, that's your divergence, and that's when the big moves happen. So putting that together, I do think SPY will have a broader pullback and a reversion back to the mean. And then if you check out the 12 hour, keep it simple. The 12 hour usually leads the way on most things. It will put in a continuation sell signal if it rejects these EMAs, and then we can kind of go to the 10 hour and probably get a closer look at it. And also, we've been looking at the inverse head and shoulders, and measured move pretty much it. So yeah, looking like about to be a continuation sell signal on SPY. And if you know anything about economics, you can just kind of go drive through your town and see everything's messed up right now. So without government help, I do think the markets are going to correct, and we're going to be in a little bit of downside in stocks. And we'll check out Amazon. About the same thing. Inverse head and shoulders, target hit. And this was a top, so we'll check out the 6 hour. So we got the 6 hour loss of momentum, and keeping it simple, it'll lead you down. And so yeah, I put this in here for the gap. That's the pink line. So if we see it come down to 33.02, that'll be a fill in the gap. And then I do think we could have a bounce off of that. And as the 1 hour, as you can see, is getting a little bit oversold. So maybe Amazon is getting a little bit overdone. And maybe we'll see a pity bounce tomorrow in Amazon off of this guy. This. We got a falling wedge, and then we can go ahead and do the measured move for that. And so about 2%. So if we do pump 2% from, let me go see the lower time frames if I think it'll go. So yeah, do think if we pump 30% from here, 2%, that'll put us back at 3,400. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow if we get a break, and then it'll actually be 2% like that. So we'll leave that right there, and we'll put a little mark, see how this plays out. I don't really like doing measured moves off the 30-minute, but I do watch Amazon pretty close. But as long as the 6 hours in and it is leading into the higher time frames, it will, potentially have more downside. And then as well as SPY going to the downside could lead into it. And then checking out Shopify. So we were looking at Shopify yesterday and the day before at this volatility. And so it's still contracting, and I thought today it expanded to the downside. So it's still going, still contracting really doesn't tell me much other than we did break this fallen wedge. And so on the higher time frames, we've got the 6-hour loss of MACD. So I do think we could come back down to one of these lower areas. And it looks like I already got the measured move marked. So if we do go to 1032, wouldn't be too big of a surprise to me. And so as long as the 12-hour loss of momentum's there, I will be looking for downside in Shopify. And also Tesla, about forgot. So I got a few more indicator templates for all you hardcore TA guys out there on Tesla. So this is the MACD without the lines, and this is the squeeze momentum indicator. So when you put them both together, you get a little bit of a different picture. And then this is the 55 EMA, and this is the 200 EMA. And so looking at it, looking bullish off the 12-hour, and then we'll go down to the 6-hour, my favorite time frame also. We got a little bit of a pattern going on in MACD going down this way. So if we see a break in this and also a break in the squeeze momentum indicator, it could give us a hint at some upside in Tesla. And then also if we go to the 1-hour, we'll check out the VPVR. And that is coming in at the point of control at 444. So if we lose 444 to the downside, we should see a pullback to the 430 range. And then if we break 463, we should see pretty much a clean run up to 500. So that's what I want to see for the upside, a break of 463 sustained. And then I also have another indicator template we'll check out. And I'm going to try to do this every day for you guys. That way we can just deep dive Tesla. I'll try to stick to the daily because I feel like everybody likes the daily time frame. But anyway, let me know what your favorite time frame is down below if you're still with me. And so yeah, and a simple way to trade that I like to do is just to look at these two moving averages right here. And this is the 200-day and the 21-day with the Bollinger Bands. So we have a Bollinger Band squeeze right here. So when that happens, usually get a violent move to the upside like right here. So with this Bollinger Band squeeze, we could see a big run up in Tesla. And I think that'll happen after earnings, but don't hold me to that. But also, just the separation between this 200 and the 21 is a tail of a top being put in. But since the stock split, that does kind of throw a wrinkle into it. But Tesla can pull back to the 200-day worst case scenario, and that's 226. So if we shaved off worst case scenario, that'd be a 50% correction, 220. And not saying that's going to happen, but always keep that in the back of your mind when you're trading that it could you could lose half your money. And just like right here, nobody's seen it coming. But it was 189% above. And if you're still with me, that's kind of what why I like the fear and greed, because it tells me that without having to measure it. So right now we're 112 essentially. So we could have an 80% pump from here before it got overbought. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Appreciate you sticking with me, and let me know what you guys think below in the comments, and have a great night or morning.